Anything else?
I probably should put something on there about that ad hoc committee update.
No, I can just do that in plan commission updates.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, please.
I can just do that in agenda item number 3 under plan commission.
We'll probably be adding something on there from Firewise. See?
And I just asked Kathy too.
I'll let you know after the meeting.
Douglas.
tomorrow.
I just messaged Kathy too to
All
see
right,
what we got.
anything
to.
else? Jason? Josh, can you think of anything?
For future meetings, no.
Yeah, okay. Set the date for the next meeting,
November 19th.
What is our,
You have your
15th. All right,
budget.
Yeah, but
What's the
we
budget
gotta,
15th?
we're gonna, one of the items in closed session, we're gonna have a closed session with it. And we need to see if that attendee can be there before we set that date.
Oh, I thought it was the third Tuesday.
Third Tuesday is,
So the
November?
budget will be, nope, that, I've got that
Oh.
date, that'll be set for November 19th, do the budget hearing the same day as our board
I was
meeting.
gonna say, usually we.
Yep,
we
so
tie
that
in
is
with our
there,
board meeting, so-
Okay.
but we're obviously not gonna have everything solidified with the budget tonight yet, so we'll probably have to meet for the budget, but we talked about having that attendee
yes,
come in.
yes.
That
But
will-
when is that due, the budget?
So I have to have it posted by November 4th.
Okay. It's coming up
And then it'll
fast.
be November 19th
Okay.
when we do that.
Okay,
But as for the date when we meet to work on that again, we'll check to see what that attendee can do
okay,
before we pick that date, and then I'll
Yep.
confirm with you guys.
okay, so November 19th is next meeting at 6 PM.
Okay.
Okay, all right, now the last item is the budget. It's 8 o'clock, we're right on schedule, guys. All right. You had some questions for us, Paula.
I do. So the format, I changed the format from what I had used the last couple of years. I think it's simpler to use. However, I still have some formatting, whatnot, that needs to be done on it. But I kind of give you guys a rough idea. So some of the main things that I need to have from you guys would be, how much we're gonna put towards roads.
I told you today.
Yep,
Okay,
yep, and you said 550,000.
you bet.
And then we had the Humane Society, which was the 4,200 that
Yep.
we were gonna put in there for budgeting.
We are, because the Humane Society has kind of backed us into a corner, and we are looking at another venue, so we'll
Yep.
put that in there for
Yeah,
now.
the other thing I didn't know, if there was a certain amount we were setting aside for equipment purchases, what we're setting aside for buildings, any type of pay increases.
Okay,
I did hear from Claude, and they are looking at, so we did budget an extra $10,000 this year for the assessor.
yep,
Because we have the reevaluation that's going out, so he'll be sending mailers at the end of the year, letting us know. But over the next 2 years, he's gonna span out the cost of that reevaluation, so he'll be done in 2027. So I do have the 65,000 in addition to what his normal
Okay.
rate is here for 2026, and then that'll be in there for 2027.
but I had a conversation with him, and when he finishes that evaluation, that reevaluation that we had to have done, we are not raising or changing anybody's taxes until it's all done for the whole town.
No,
Okay.
nope.
Just so
nope,
he's
and that's-
agreeable with
No,
that.
no, that's what he said, but he
Okay.
said the amount of work that takes to do a reevaluation in a town our size, because they have somebody that goes out and they take all the pictures, and there's a lot on their end that they have to do to make it happen.
Okay,
So it's split over 2 years, but it will not impact everybody until the same time
Okay.
frame. So, yep, nope, and that's what he's told me every time.
he thinks the taxes won't go up. He thinks they're just gonna
Like re-level
wash.
themselves.
Yeah, re-level themselves, so.
He's just gotta get that margin down.
I know, I know,
I was gonna say, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
all
One
right,
of the other things too, and I don't know if you guys want to allow for it or not, because next year will be for 4 elections. My election equipment is 10 years old. That technology, that is something that is been recommended from the county that we look at updating those machines, because there's a lot of things with security, whatnot, for all of them So,
I agree with updating the machines, but I don't agree that to update the machines right out of the box. I think we should let somebody else try them first and then we'll go a year later. They're brand new machines. Nobody's ever tried them.
that I guess I don't know what all, like how many have used that
Well,
version of it.
ours have worked all this time and they're working fine. I think if
So-
we wait a year, let the other communities try out the new machines, get the kinks out, and then we buy them the following year.
Is that, are you risking
How many machines
something
do we
going
have
wrong
right
during
now?
an election?
So
doing
we
that?
have two.
What's the difference
ballot
between a new machine and an old
tabulators.
machine?
Okay.
If one breaks down,
Now, you said they're outdated. Does that mean their
Right, 10
security
years.
is outdated?
10 years of, let me see if I have it in my folder here. But I mean, there's things that get modemed over there and the security and that's,
they can't be that outdated, Chase, if other communities are still gonna be using them.
I don't know, my computer's only 6 years old and it's Windows 10 is
Well,
being
I'm
outdated.
sure it's outdated, but I mean, it's not a security risk because other
Windows 10 is
communities.
because it's no longer being updated.
Okay.
So they can get outdated pretty fast.
And I agree, but
Would-
if it's new technology and we're gonna be one of the first communities using it and we're a large community, do you really wanna bomb in the middle of our election? Let other communities get the kinks out.
These machines we're talking about,
They're technologically more advanced than the ones we got.
well, I wouldn't disagree with that, but so would a machine only 5 years old would be more advanced than what we have, right?
Sure.
So these new machines that we're talking about, nobody's ever used them, they're state of the art kind of
so.
thing?
So this is what came from the county. You know, he does say that we don't have to make the switch at point, but at some point down the road, we do have to. Because the older machines that run most of the ballots through them, he says, I believe we went online in 2012, and for elections, 13 years is a pretty good run. He's also aware that some are starting to have some reoccurring issues with the older the DS200s, which we did have this last time when we tested. You know, we had errors and had to shut down and restart, and, you know, they're maintained, they're serviced, everything, you know. So he does want to make sure that we do get them budgeted for because of that technology. They're a lot faster.
How much is each machine?
So each machine is $7,025.
And how many do we need?
Two.
So what happens to the old machines?
There is a trade-in.
Okay, so we would, so
Yep,
they
we would
wouldn't
take
be here
advantage
for
of the
backup?
Yep, yep.
They would not be here for backup?
So traded in.
No, because you can't just, like, you have to
Right.
test those machines ahead of time, so if for some reason, you know, like the big elections, I do use 2 of them. Like a small February, I just would use 1. You know, there's enhanced security on them, so the locks are pick resistant, you know, there's improved stability for the transport, which, like this last time when they got serviced, I had to take the tops of the machines off and take them into the courthouse.
So what if we buy one? And then buy one the following year?
I asked him about that, and I didn't put that part in here. I don't remember how that works for if I would have to use 2 different ones and how that stick goes with the data, if that makes any sense.
So are
for
these
him.
voting machines or tabulating machines?
They are tabulators. So
Ah.
that's what counts, so that's what you put your ballot into
Ah.
to score, and that's what the results get modemed over to the county.
Okay.
So we do have one other machine, and that is, it's called an express vote, and that is where, like, if somebody has the need to have a ballot read to them, they can
Yes.
go and it would read the ballot to them. It would
Yes.
also mark the ballot for them. They can hear their choices, or if maybe they're visually impaired and need to have that a little bit larger, that's gonna be a little larger on that screen for them. That also is nice to have, so like for example, last November election, we were really close on ballots. Trent does a really good job of estimating how many
Yeah.
ballots we would need. If we would have ran out of ballots, we could have used the express vote for people to still cast their vote. And then those print out on a separate sheet, and then that gets inserted into the same tabulator.
And
So-
we do have that or we don't have?
We have one of those machines.
And,
that one would not be replaced at this point, because that one we just got
okay,
2 years ago.
and we did use it this time.
We have to have that machine,
Okay.
because it's for the handicapped
Okay.
accessible. We have to have one there, and that would not change at this point.
Okay,
So if we went with new tabulators, that one would still, all that does is just mark a ballot, it doesn't
Okay.
score it.
okay.
If we, say we choose to update one this year and another next year, do they have separate, do they use the same ballot?
That would use the same ballot, but I'm thinking of the media that goes into it for the programming. That I don't remember when I had asked him. And I know I asked, and I just don't remember what that response
They
was.
might use two separate software.
I'm just scared with brand new technology that if it breaks down, then she's gonna be,
It's the same company that made the machine that we have now, so
It's not like it's all,
Ask these people to buy them for you.
oh, good point.
that's a good idea.
They'd be more
I'll
than
add it to the
willing, he
list.
said. All done.
we're still talking about people filling out paper ballots,
Safe.
Correct.
Yes.
correct?
Yep.
So if they go
Yep.
down, worst case scenario, somehow we have to count
Yeah, at that point
1,500,
you have to,
2,000 ballots by hand. But
either that or at that point, then.
it's not like they're lost and then there's a huge error at that point.
Right, and then at that point, maybe we would have to grab a machine from the county and then, but you'd have to test it and all that.
It's in the middle of the night.
Right.
Well, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Wouldn't
You know,
you
Trend
be
something.
more comfortable using what you know than,
but this is technology and you get errors and, I mean, technology can be fickle.
Old technology isn't necessarily, I mean, we're not talking about,
you know how to operate your computer on Windows 10, Chase, but if you change over to Windows 15 or whatever the hell it is,
Well,
that is
the
now.
computer just updated automatically to me today on Windows 11.
Okay, and it's a learning curve, right? Yeah, so I don't know. I guess, I don't have a vote here, but
Paulette, are you suggesting we buy these machines?
I guess if it has enhanced security, I feel better with more security. When you hear people and concerns about whether elections are secure, whatnot, that's, I guess,
does it have enhanced security?
Yes.
That's the whole idea behind it. And I guess my thought is if the clerk feels that she's more comfortable with this and our poll workers, that she runs with our poll workers, that's probably the way we should be going at that point.
Okay. I still feel trying something new.
We,
I-
so we're discussing this because of budget preparation, right?
Yeah,
So we could essentially budget for it even if we don't choose to go that route?
well, yeah, and that's a possibility.
How much are we
too.
talking for the two? 15,000?
15,000?
Yeah,
I think that's pretty small compared to the rest of our budget. We might as well just budget for it.
I'd say buy a pair, budget for a pair.
then I want 10,000 more for the roads.
Douglas,
Well,
I like that.
I mean,
why we
I
discussed
know, I agree with the roads things too.
okay,
But we don't have to do anything for equipment really severe this year because we have the 2 new trucks.
okay, the guys have asked for $70,000 for equipment, so I'll tell
What are
you
they
why.
looking for? And so-
Okay, so that bracket for the mower,
Yep, that's it, yeah.
about
Did we get a,
$4,206. And,
that's a new bracket?
Yeah,
yes,
here,
Brand new?
a chipper, larger, more, bigger chipper, $30,000 to $35,000. A box for the 2003 pickup, $20,000.
one, patrol truck, not a pickup.
Sorry,
That's
did I
the
say
replacement.
pickup?
You
Yeah,
said pickup.
Sorry.
Patrol truck.
that's the replacement box for
How
that.
much is that?
I put 20.
If we could find a used one off, a couple years ago, there was a used one.
I can't even read
Doug,
my
what's
own
your
writing.
opinion on that chipper?
It depends on what we're gonna do. For brushing, if we're gonna do brushing like we have in the past, we had to go get the county's chipper because ours wouldn't handle it.
I guess my
Too
thoughts
small.
are, that's part of the reason we got that grapple, so we could just grab the stuff, throw it in the truck and get to our
Right,
brush
and you
site.
need a good chipper to handle the stuff you're throwing into that.
Pole saw.
But if we're not throwing it in there, we're just hauling it to our brush site.
Well, I think what they're doing is they're picking it up beside the road and then throw it in the chipper.
just about every one of my customers who I've talked to about it and what they do with it when they,
Oh,
anything they drop, they pick up, they throw on a truck and take it back to their brush site, cause they said it takes a whole lot less time.
I know their chippers,
There's a whole lot less mess on the road too.
Yeah.
yeah.
My thoughts are, I don't know that the chipper's needed, or, and at that point, the box wouldn't be either.
They do use a chipper on a lot of areas, you know, where they can. Obviously, if you have areas where there's lawns and things like that, they'll, haul it away.
From what I've talked to, with everybody I've talked to, it's a lot easier to just grab the material, throw it in a truck and take it away. It's actually created less man hours. They're not sitting out there next to a chipper, less injury risk.
Yeah, we went through what they wanted this morning, and that was one of the things they talked about. We discussed that a long time. I can tell you the chipper they have now, they have to cut the brush down really small to get it to take it.
Oh, I understand that the chipper we have now, to be honest, is inadequate for what we do. I'm just not sure in the long run, a chipper is really the right process to go with this.
So the other direction you can do is when you need a chipper, you rent one. You know, that's another thing, but during a full-blown storm, sometimes you can't get them.
Right.
The county, they have one in each shop. And you wouldn't, if we had a storm and wanted to get theirs, you wouldn't get it.
No, I understand that. I'm still questioning the need, that was kind of the whole purpose of that grapple, so that we could move that, get it cut up, get it moved into a truck and hauled away.
See, I'm taking that in a different direction. I thought, like, you may be right, don't get me wrong, but I thought they were picking that stuff to bring it to the chipper to chip then. Because they don't have a vehicle to blow it into.
Right.
And so they blow it back into the right of way or wherever they can.
Into the woods next to.
And we talked about that.
Into
If
the right of way
blow
that
it
the
in the
residents
woods,
mow.
they're told to ask for permission before they do that. So we can do that and we don't get complaints. A lot of things they just do, but you need to ask first.
Well, and that's, we fought that a lot on Church and
Yeah,
Ranger
we
where
did.
we chipped
Yeah.
into the right of way that the residents mow,
Right,
and then they,
Some of that I disagree with you because
yeah, and she-
if we can mow it with our mower, that's what you want. You know, they don't mow it on they won't put it on somebody's lawn. You know, if somebody's got a full-blown lawn there, but if you got something they can cut with the big mower.
So Doug, are you saying you're in favor of the chipper then, that?
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna be honest, I am against it at this point.
I think it's a viable tool for not only just when they go out and do brushing.
So what about the smaller chipper then that we have?
They can trade that in.
I'll either trade it in or it can go up on the auction site like we've auctioned everything else off.
Okay.
I mean, that would be,
the patrol truck box, is that to accommodate the chipper?
Yeah,
Or was that to
no,
replace the rusted?
That's to replace the one with the holes in it.
Oh,
That's what I thought.
okay.
That's what I thought. I didn't think this was,
all right, I was thinking that was a box.
I didn't think this was to like
You can
support
incorporate
equipment for
it
the
to
chipper.
thing. You can build something on top. We've talked about that. They haven't done that yet, but
so what is this?
that's always an option.
It's the replacement of the
2003?
The
one.
2003 patrol truck, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I have this on. Okay,
But there had been talk before, in fact, I think we even looked at an auction of a box to go slide in for that chipper. So, that's what I thought we were talking about, sorry.
okay. And then contracted roadside brush removal. Maybe a little different than what we did last year, but we still need to keep up with it.
On brushing,
Yeah,
I'm telling you,
I'm
for
thinking we
$167 an hour, you aren't gonna get anybody else to do it that'll do 5 miles for $10,000.
but we have to keep up with it, because if we don't, then we're having
I
enough.
know you get complaints early on, but when you go down the roads that they did, you go down Ranger right now,
It looks beautiful, it really does.
I can't see a tree that we killed.
No, no. But I think we should set aside $10,000 to do that this year.
I've
And you know
always
what
said-
else we gotta do? We gotta get that, Paulette, what was it that we were gonna do? Chase, remember we had to go to the site and remove the brush out of the site, or,
Was that the transfer site, or I mean the brush site to do the
We
Shipping
need,
there?
Or
Is
you
that-
need to
can
grind
chip
that.
pile.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Okay, so how much was that, Chase? You it was like 5,000? That was at the time.
Well, it was 1,800 at the time.
Okay, so we'll set aside a couple.
I,
That should
I
be
would
in here.
plan on probably 3,500, just depending on, because
That's pretty cheap.
To come in, for them to come in and chip and haul, or just chip?
chip and haul it. The idea is that though that they take that material and then they sell it off to the plant up there. 'cause-
Right, so when I was in that business previously, I don't remember ever paying any,
The value
or
is
getting
gone.
paid for it.
The value of it's gone down.
Okay.
What he charges for is basically he charges his move-in cost. His operating and to haul that away, that goes on whatever he makes off.
So if I set aside 2,000 to do that, we should be covered?
I would set aside higher because just in case for some reason,
Who did that? The guy from Auburndale?
Kafka did that the last time. And Kafka does roam every year, so he's nearby.
He's never done ours though, so you had an estimate of 1,800 and you want me to raise it to what?
Well, that was the last estimate we got. I've called
That
him a
was-
couple times. I did not get an updated estimate on that.
Okay, so do you think 2,500 would be fine?
You could put it to 2,500.
Okay,
Is Kafka the only one that does it in the area now?
No,
or
there was
Does
six.
Zableski do it still?
Kafka's the only one that hauls it away
Okay.
and then utilizes it. The other ones want to drop it and then it's ours.
Okay.
Which I believe you had raised concerns about it sitting there and then composting down and starting a fire.
Right.
gets hot? Because it's not turned.
Once
And
it's,
it's
once it's
decomposing.
ground, it starts to decompose, and if it's mixed with other brush,
It's hot.
It gets
It
hot.
gets hot and
Yeah,
it
it
can
has to be turned,
bust.
right. Okay,
And you said that happened in the
oh
past.
yeah, we've
I've
dealt,
seen it
I've
happen.
dealt with, chipped brush piles sitting next to, building brush piles, and the fire starts right between the two every time, and
I believe it.
I mean, I've been on 3 job sites where it's happened to us.
yeah, decomposing, yeah, it's composing, sure.
So
Okay, and
3 for
then,
5.
so, Public Works, I'm saying 70,000 to fulfill all the,
What was it last year?
I don't remember.
I haven't got to that.
does that include the 10,000 for brushing? Or is that a?
yes, it did.
Okay.
My list, it did.
Okay.
And then there was a pole saw in there too for
Yeah, you had a
but
pole
that's
saw there.
kind of miscellaneous here.
Which they got a small tools budget, I'm sure they could do it that way, but that's everything they had today.
Okay,
There was other things they had.
What's that pole saw hook up to?
well, they have one.
It's a Milwaukee Electric, and it's a long one that they're trimming up higher stuff with.
Okay,
They work pretty good.
well, because we just bought him a pole saw.
Yeah, this is
Hydraulic.
similar to that. They both want to cut.
Okay.
And then hall and buildings. Just give me this one now. Sorry, do you remember what he said for a full contract for the architect? Anybody?
And we can look back at that too to see, was it like 15,000?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Is it?
So it was 15 and 17, that's right. Okay, let's add those together. 32,000, and then add another. Add another 1,500 for the out systems. And the repair work that we're gonna run across, I know we're gonna have crap happening in there,
Our
town hall.
timeline wise with what you're looking at with these buildings, are you looking at trying to build Public Works next year or?
It depends on what we can do with the Public Works, maybe? So in talking to financial people, it's been proven that you should take out a loan before you have the money, so that the people that are paying are benefiting from the project. So we would not be paying on this loan until the money came in for the solar. So it wouldn't affect any of the tax rate. And I say that with Billy Joe giving me the evil eye because she interprets it different. But the intent is to start as soon as possible. But I know we don't have to take it to the people, but I want to take it to the people. And I want them to do both buildings at one time, so we're not going back and forth, so they can see everything. And I would really like them to be able to come and see the buildings and see what's there and
Well,
what's.
that's something we're looking at actively doing, though. We're still gonna have to.
I think in the spring we should start on Public Works if we can. That's gonna be the most inexpensive one, but we have so many hurdles to jump through before that happens.
Mostly on the old town hall.
Yeah, the hurdles that we gotta jump through are on the town hall, absolutely. And then if that falls through, then on the new building, we gotta start from scratch.
Over again, that's more time.
Yep,
But
So
the
that's-
Public Works, we've kind of figured
we have, but the
either
people
gonna-
haven't, so
it's either
I,
gonna happen or not,
yeah, it's,
essentially.
yeah. So,
But if we think we're gonna try to do something with that, we probably need to budget for that.
we know the interest rate is 5%
What interest rate?
to take out a loan for the new building, for either building, because they said they guarantee that it would be less than the state's interest rate. The state's interest rate is 5%. So I'm using 5% as the marker because they said it would be less than that. So the most it's gonna be is 5%. But we still don't have any idea what the cost is.
Well, we do have an estimate from Keller. But what?
Not for the separate buildings though, do we?
Yeah, he separated out the cost.
Was it 1.7 for the Public Works?
I wanna say it was, well, we'd have to go back to our
No,
notes on
it
that.
was 1.7 for Public Works.
But if we just budgeted for, because we have
But-
no idea what it's gonna come in at. quite
And that was all the bells and whistles though, and we decided not to do all that. So,
So
Let me
can
think
you
about
budget
it for a minute.
the engineering?
pardon?
Can you budget for the engineering to get started and then put
That's,
the building on?
the engineering is in with the,
Yeah, I know it is, but I don't think you're gonna be turning ground next year if you don't have it started engineering yet. I'm not positive on
the
that.
engineering is,
You can still take.
we'll
it
have the full set of working plans with the engineering by December 1st.
This year, okay.
That's what, our architect
So
said.
that- at the earliest, we'd be looking,
We
getting
can't,
it through a meeting, getting it out for bids.
Yeah.
At the earliest, we'd be looking at probably
and
mid-February, mid-March.
we could dig then. I mean, the ground is workable. But we gotta have a place for Public Works to go. I mean, you can't just,
We can figure that out, but
You can rent a building just to get through.
couldn't we just keep them here in some closets?
then you still have to put those up though.
No, I mean, storage buildings.
Oh, yeah.
We're allowed to do that, 90 days.
You mean put a storage building up?
Yeah, the storage containers. Put their tools, get them secure, and the trucks can sit outside. It's March.
Sorry, this chair.
Are you okay?
No, it just kind of spooked me a little.
Well,
Well, and like you say, we can cross
I
that
think
bridge
that,
when we come to it.
let's cross that when we come to it. We don't even know that we're gonna be
But-
able to do anything, and
Right.
we don't know the town's gonna approve.
I would
We don't know
say,
anything, but if we're really thinking about doing that, I think we need to throw a number in there at least, just show we're serious
Yeah,
about
you're
doing
probably
something.
right.
okay, let's put 50,000 in there then. That's gonna cover the engineering, the architects,
So that's assuming we're not building.
Yeah, if you plan on building, you're gonna have a tough time building. You haven't started any engineering, you don't know what you're doing with this one. I think you probably could budget for.
And even if we did dig, we're still under a construction loan.
Oh,
So,
you still gotta have it approved.
yeah,
Bye.
we still gotta
You're
have it
still
approved.
spending the money though, the money's still going out. You're getting money in for a loan, but you still have to budget for the money that's going out. No matter what.
Well, that's why I say 50,000. Cause even if we're making payments, 50,000 would cover the payments
But
And what if you're,
in a construction loan.
okay.
What are you saying?
From a budgetary standpoint and from an
You're
accounting
talking about
standpoint,
budgeting 1.7 million? Why would you do that? We're not spending 1.7 million,
that money's going to somebody.
but it's not coming out of next year's budget. You're only taking the money out that you're gonna pay out of the budget, correct?
And then you're also taking on debt, which needs to be budgeted.
When's the loan coming out? When are you looking for the loan?
Well, that's what we're talking about. If we are
And
gonna.
quite frankly, if we budget 50,000, and to be honest, it's more likely, I think we don't break ground next year.
perfect.
But
Set a date to start the year after.
But my
You
guess
get
is
it
if we get everything through and we get it through next summer, we'll probably end up bidding it out probably in October next year.
Mhm.
And for a following year build. You gotta realize that you don't really want somebody ramping up and trying to build a building within
Every
60
year you add
days.
3% to that building. Every year you delay.
Yeah. Finds how many more tariffs we put on China, that could go up higher.
There you go.
But
Okay,
I'm not sure you're ready yet, though.
let's do 50,000.
Okay.
if we are ready though, it needs, am I correct that it needs to be budgeted for it at least that point?
Yeah,
Let's do 50,000. We won't start next year.
there you go. Now you made a decision. Perfect.
Not the one I would have made, but.
Doesn't mean you have to spend it.
I
So
know.
that was
We
for-
can always amend this budget too.
No,
if we-
that
if
will,
we
that
get
will
to it and we
cover,
find out
that'll
we
cover
can.
everything to prep for the building.
That's hall and building?
Yeah. Because if we have to go back and redesign for a new building, that'll cover that.
That's what I'm afraid of.
Yeah, I know, but there's no way around that.
No,
Because
but
the
I'm-
people did come in here and say, I don't want to tear this hall down. It's a structurally sound building. I understood that.
I think that price is gonna say a lot though, when we get the estimate in both buildings
I
next
think
to each
you're
other,
gonna be
I think
surprised.
it's gonna say a
You're
lot.
actually building two buildings now. One on the inside, and one on the outside.
You are.
To be honest, though, we don't have to build that shop and the other stuff at the same time though necessarily.
Okay.
You can do a shop next year,
Okay.
that's where we're at.
Well, we made that decision. Let's move on. Because we could spend all night talking about that one.
Okay.
Okay. What else you need to know?
Yep, so, and then I guess I didn't really mention it to you guys where I came up with some of the figures, so I, have in there the budget, and then I just figured, like, for the proposed, I just figured an extra 5% on top of it. That's kind of where I came up with it, just kind of a good old guesstimate for a lot of them. Are we doing anything different with any of the hourly pay rates? And you'll see, I did put a blip in there that I will have on the notice of public hearing, through one of the meetings at the Towns Association. They talked about like having an elected official fill in, like let's say, for example, we don't have somebody to work the transfer site, or let's say for some reason we need somebody that has to go out and plow the roads and one of the board has a qualification to do that. We have to have that voted on by the electors to set that wage as the, basically I'm thinking the same amount of what that position is paid. So if you'd have to fill in at the transfer site, you'd get paid what the transfer site person. Or if you had to plow on the roads, you'd get paid what the guy gets paid. But we have to have that from the electors to say that. So I will have that. So I did put a sheet in there for you guys on that.
So I have a couple questions.
Yep.
So board salary, taxes, expenses, and training. Our actual was 47,227 in 2024. And in 2025, you estimate it's gonna be 45,533 because we've been very conservative. But now for 2025 budget, we budgeted 72,000?
That was what was on the
Okay.
budget
The
sheet.
So we-
2025 budget.
Yeah,
And then
so
there's
we
the
saved,
proposed-
$25,000 on the board for,
I don't know if I would look at it that way, because that's just what you're thinking maybe you would spend, you know?
that's what we thought we would spend.
Right.
But
Right.
but we actually didn't, we spent $25,000 less.
Correct.
Oh, that
But
was
look
pretty
at
damn good.
2023,
Well,
2023, we did
No,
spend.
hold, because there's the 20,
I'm sorry,
there's the 20.
I'll watch my language, I can see.
There's the 2025 actual through July. So that was when I ran the trial balance from
Yeah.
January 1 to July 31st. And then what I did for the 2025 estimate was I took that amount, divided it out, multiplied it, so
By
what
12 months.
what it would
Yeah.
potentially be for 12 months.
Yeah,
And then that 2025 budget field is pulled
what
off
we
of
said.
the 2025 budget itself, what we had figured.
Correct.
But I did the 2026 proposed off of what our estimate is.
A
So-
more accurate.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
Yes.
thinking
So-
we're,
Your office expenses here, we've got potential for elections, is that gonna increase your office expenses?
so the elections are a separate
Line item.
expense.
Right.
Yep, yep.
But even like
How many,
printing at the office and stuff like that, there's other costs that,
Yeah,
Yeah.
so some of that could potentially, like I try to put, like when I go buy all them stamps and stuff into the election
Elections and stuff,
category,
okay.
yeah.
how much, how many elections did we have this year?
Two.
Two. And last year?
Last year was
It was-
4.
Four.
So it's a 4-2, 4-2, 4-2,
I guess I'm looking
potentially.
at that, you got 19,400 for 24. I'd say we should probably have that up at about 20, just to make sure.
Well, if you're buying election equipment, sure
Well,
the hell better have it
And
higher.
the proposed budget's
Well, that
34,
would-
right?
Yes,
The proposed budget's 34, 710.
I think that's,
Pros 34,710.
For elections?
Yes.
Okay, I was looking up at
So that's
office
double
expenses
the
utility.
cost of oh yeah, she said the elections were down here. Elections are separate.
Right, right. But if you look at the same election year, there were higher costs of 19,417 for the office expenses in an election year with four
Right.
elections. I'm just thinking there's some extra.
but that
that was.
that one shouldn't have election stuff, you know, because
Yeah.
if you look back at the 2024, it was like 15,004. I'm trying to think, there was something big office-wise, and without pulling the actual trial balance to see what, you know.
Okay, that's fine. If you think that's sufficient, that's fine.
It was
I
all
just
those
want to make sure it was
computers.
accounted for.
Wasn't it? Was that,
Off the top of my head, I can't.
or was it the security system?
I don't think that.
That wasn't in
was
2024, was
security
it?
System.
Doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
without looking, I couldn't.
Sure. Okay,
So like I said, that was the method to my madness, and like I said, some of these I have to pretty it up, but I think this way it's
Yes.
listed is a little bit easier to look at.
Did- did the assessor, did you figure in Claude's?
Yep, I've got
you got
his
that.
extra in there already,
Wow.
because I figured his normal rate, what he gets every month, plus
Did you see that?
Yeah, 86,
That's a year.
yeah.
But that's
86
That's because of
part
the
it's for
reval.
Just because of the revamp.
Yeah.
Wow. That's still a lot of money.
And like I said, there's still a few fields that I have to put in. I was working with a different spreadsheet, so like the insurance, I've got to pull that off of one of my sheets, but I seen it in another area too, so I just have to do
Okay.
a little checking on that to.
We haven't put in a contingency ever, have we?
I think we
But-
do have some that was in a contingency. I've got it
We
listed
moved it over to
on-
the truck, I think, didn't we? Are you guys making fun of me? I wouldn't blame you if you did. Half time I don't know. So if the insurance here, that's for the insurance for the buildings, that's not the insurance for people, correct?
I've got to dig into that report a little bit further to see if that was, because I want to say that the way that the sheet was, the workman's comp was in a different area, but I think I had it all in one field.
I
so
think this
I just
general,
wanna-
I think this general government insurance, I think that's just for the building and grounds. And I think that's what that is, 'cause that seems really low. Wouldn't you think, Carl?
Where you're at here.
Right here, because it says general government and then it has insurance.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, that's-
So I just have to look at that report a little bit more to,
We haven't, we have not paid our final payment on our truck yet, right?
No,
No, we got
I'm
it
just
in,
gonna say that budget for shop equipment expenses.
we got it in.
The
Yeah, I
truck,
pulled the
the
CD.
truck
It's
is
in the
paid
CD.
for, but the equipment's not?
no, I don't think so.
I don't
No,
think
we
I paid
didn't.
anything.
We
did
did
I?
not.
And Josh,
We didn't,
why would you pay for the truck when we can't put pressure on Monroe because they bid it through
Right,
them?
no, I totally understand, I just thought I had heard that the truck was paid for.
Nope, not
Okay.
that I know of. Put it that way. Haven't got the truck yet. Besides that, the body
street
put
signs,
on through the
is that
truck company,
with
so
the,
we pay the truck company, he's not gonna push
How come
the
that's
body
so
back.
much?
Are you looking at the bottom of page 3?
Yeah.
So, I
Yeah.
mean, that is like street maintenance expense,
Oh,
replace,
that's
repair street
maintenance.
signs, roadman, salary, incidentals, vacation
Okay.
benefits. So I kind of tried to summarize that in there,
okay,
and I put on the side, and I don't know if I'll like keep that on there for you guys to see or not, but I have my general ledger account numbers on the
Okay.
side, because that made it easier for me to
For
figure this
you?
out.
okay.
Especially when you're looking at the different years, and I
Sure.
changed the format, and
Said he had to pay
these
interest.
now, they were close before, but some of them hopped around for how, where that Form C was. But these orders may have shifted a little bit just because of that report.
So we're putting on for roads 550,
Mm-hmm.
and last year we had 700
Yeah,
figured. Or this year we had 700 figured.
Hopefully we can cover some of that with grants.
Okay.
And then were you looking at doing any different pay rates for any of the hourly? I did put a sheet in here with what the different hourly rates were.
Okay.
That's on page 7.
I didn't even look at that yet. I'll get there.
And like I said, a lot of what was proposed, I took the estimate for what it would be for the end of the year and just added 5%.
Okay.
Just give
So,
or take.
Are you
know.
still calling Mary the deputy clerk?
She's deputy slash,
But I mean, when you did her, on the first page?
oh, I guess it would be all in there under, I didn't have it separated
Okay.
in there.
Okay, that's okay.
Um,
I was just wondering if that's what.
And I can change that,
Title?
the title in that,
Might want to do that. Because otherwise it makes it look like she is only the deputy clerk.
yeah, I can change what that title is in there for that versus,
Garbage and recycling, holy cats. We did better on garbage and recycling than we did. We don't go up on that this year, do we?
yes, the garbage and recycling was
I should know this.
an increase every year.
Do you remember?
I can look. I got it.
Oh, you
I
don't have to,
You,
Billy.
I
do.
can, you wanna know for 2026, right?
Yes, ma'am, please. Okay, we budgeted 10,000 for the transfer site, and we didn't use that. We budgeted that 10,000 because we thought we were gonna do the mulching or the chipping, but we never did do that.
Still
Right?
can.
Shouldn't we do it in the fall?
But
That's when
I,
we should do it, right?
Well, you can still do that if you want, if you got it in the budget.
We do.
I'll go ahead and see if I can get
Sounds good.
Perfect.
him in yet. I think he's gotta go down to Rome yet. this
Yeah,
year.
because it's in there. I can see it in there. Okay.
He's gonna be in Rome for a while by looking at the piles.
The Humane Society, that
He
one,
said he loves
that's
that-
just a
that
kicker to
5
me.
acre
I
pile he
just,
gets down there twice a year.
you just wouldn't believe that.
Humane Society?
Yeah, that was a kicker.
and there are some fields in here too that eventually they will come off of the sheet, but I
From
still
the-
have to have them,
Nepco Lake?
yeah, I have to show that historical, so
Yeah.
next year that one will bounce off.
So we don't get any tax revenues at all. We haven't for that Nepco Lake area, correct? Because that all went back to Port Edwards, correct?
For this year, yeah, we didn't get any.
Yep.
For that
Okay.
section. And what we got before was very little, actually.
I
We got the
know,
majority
I
of it.
know. That was the biggest mistake the town of Saratoga ever made.
So as far as wages go,
I'm not that far yet, Chief. Just a minute.
well, she's asked about it 3 times now, so.
I
we
know,
should
but I
probably-
keep telling her that I'm not that far. Okay. What about the well testing, Chase?
I think we're gonna keep on that.
Yeah, we have to stay on it, but didn't we change that? We elected not to do the well testing in some areas because of the dairy farm not going in. So we reduced that.
I don't remember necessarily.
So
It was on the bill.
we budgeted 1,800 and that's where it is. What's
Well, an
it?
actual was 1950.
I think we only pay it though twice a year and we paid it already.
Right, but, so we paid 1950 and we're only budgeting 1800.
Yeah, we should budget
So we should probably,
2,000
Yeah.
for the, on page 4 at the bottom where it says well testing, you
Yep.
wanna raise that to 2,000?
Okay.
Okay. I'm on page 5 now, Chase.
okay,
And you got the ambulance in there because you already know?
Yep.
Okay. And this is your,
Just kind of explaining
Your
to you
notes?
guys how I came up with some of the numbers that I came up with.
yep,
And if you guys find something, because obviously I'm still working on it and working to make it look better.
okay. So these wages, so you got the cleaner at 1625, when was the last adjustment?
I think they got a raise last year,
They did, everybody on the sheet got a raise last year.
except the election, the chief and the poll workers. That I
That's
think
not on
was
the,
the year
oh,
before.
that's
Yep, I just hand wrote it at the bottom.
Oh, yes, that was,
The year before I
year
wrote it.
before?
Yep.
Okay, so 2022, 3. Do you know what it was before then? So if we did,
I think we should just figure 3%.
I thought it was,
that's what I did, 50 cents for the chief?
That, well, I'd say just go up whatever 3% is across the board.
For everybody?
Well, that's a pretty general cost of living increase.
What is the cost of living right now?
I'll be honest, I don't know, but
3%? 2.5? I don't know.
yeah, it usually falls between 2 and like 3.2.
So if-
3% when you're talking a job, it's pretty standard practice for a 3% increase.
Actually, if you go back to one of the other pages up front, they have the wages. The actual wages. If you would just up that wages.
estimated COLA 2026 is 2.8%. 3% is just,
So do you want to discuss that?
this time.
You're tired, John?
No. Well, yeah,
Just something not to bring up at this time.
right.
But I would say just across the board, make it easy, 3%. I don't really want to get into a point where we say 10 years down the road, well, we haven't given them a raise in 10 years and we really
So,
need to bring them up.
All the positions that are listed on that wages sheet.
I would budget for
3%.
3% increase on all of them.
Okay.
Just in case? Okay.
The only ones that would be set by electors would be if the
If we
two
went
board
down.
members,
Right.
that would be your position and Carl's that are up
And these,
in,
they can come in and negotiate that. That's just what we're saying that we're gonna allow on our,
On the budget.
on the budget, right? Okay.
Well, that's what all that's saying is that's what we're making a plan for. on the budget.
That's what you budgeted for. Leave it
Right.
at that.
It can be 1% or none,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or an
but we're gonna be in
exchange or
trouble if
something.
it's 9%. We're gonna be looking for work.
I like that 9%.
The none percent? It's like noon o'clock.
Lorelei, your waste management, $430,746.96.
Can you give me that again? 4:30?
$746.96. 2026.
Is this template format easier?
Yes.
Okay, it's easier for me too.
Why'd we have the other one?
Because I had the help and they helped create
Sorry.
that spreadsheet and.
Didn't
it-
mean to bring.
No, that's okay. It was very cumbersome and when the formulas linked and stuff, I would like to maybe get some formulas in here maybe, but
I'll
it
come
was
in and
just
help you with
easier
those.
to figure it out. Pen and paper and put the numbers in and like I said, I will clean this up more. I honestly don't know where the time has gone.
Okay.
So,
Okay, so we're gonna get an influx in the MFL. Does that go on here somewhere?
It should if we know what that's gonna be.
if you know for sure what it is,
We
but
don't-
if you don't,
We don't know what it's gonna be right now, and that's why it's not in
Yeah.
there.
And it comes with our shared revenue.
But we have our shared revenue sheets.
so
It's not in there?
whatever I.
Or,
I don't think the MFL comes with shared revenue, that's a one-time.
oh, I'm sorry, I'm thinking solar.
So whatever
Yeah,
Oh, I know
figures,
what that is.
yeah,
The energy
whatever-
incentive does not come, that's different.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, so
MFL.
like, the shared revenue, video service provider, state transportation aid, I get sheets on all of them, so that's where these numbers came from.
Okay. So you already blocked those.
I would say don't worry about it at this time, we have no idea
Yeah.
what that's gonna be, so let's just,
Mobile home fees,
just when we need to.
do we get that anymore?
That's their version of property taxes.
What are you saying not to worry about, Chase?
The MFL,
Because you don't know what,
we don't know what it's gonna be, we'll adjust things when that comes in and we know.
I'm gonna put it on
Did they
roll.
raise your road aid?
What's that?
you've been
Did they
talking
raise
to
your
Douglas too
road aid?
much.
No, I haven't.
I believe the
That's why I
road
had to
aid
collar him when I got here.
increased, did we receive our GTA calculation yet for next
Yeah.
year?
Yeah, we did.
Cause I believe that went up. In
Hold
this
on.
last budget process.
It is somewhere in my file. But all these pages were,
That's what, I can get that tomorrow.
I think I have it in here.
Yeah,
with
see that
me.
publicity
I think it was a pretty
boundary
decent
agreement is
increase,
still
too.
in there.
It used to be
Yeah, because that
2,400.
has to
It's
Yeah.
gotta,
fall
we
off.
was
Yeah.
way
I'd
off.
say it
Yep.
might be up to 28 or
Oh, you got a question mark to remove.
Yeah, I think I did, but I think there was the last payment I paid
Oh,
a little late. Cause I didn't realize I had to. Alright.
It's $273,574.10.
Hey, that's
What
what
does
I
that compare to
thought.
last year?
You're gonna call.
What's that?
What does that compare to last year?
That should be on here.
Yeah.
are you guys bored? Everybody's bored. So we have,
So the rate per mile was $2,930, if
Okay.
that tells you anything.
Yeah, I think it was 28.53 or something like that last year.
I was gonna ask.
Oh, yeah, she has it on here, 273,574.
What?
The general transportation aid, she did have it
Oh,
on here.
yeah, I seen that.
Well, maybe we should just read what you wrote down then, right?
Yeah.
I didn't know there was a question. But there was another credit that I was wondering about. No, I can't remember what it is. Oh, do we have on here for attorney fees for next year somewhere?
So there are some legal,
Okay, where
but
was
we
that?
that would be on page 3 at the top. If you want, we can
We gotta build something in there.
Page
adjust
3.
that a little bit more.
It's gonna have to be a lot more,
So we can, whatever you,
yeah.
We had 15 in last year's
I
budget.
think that's what we should budget this
Okay.
year. Just because we have a new attorney and he's not Nick Flanagan.
yep, nope, we can do that.
Okay. Are you guys, I'm done with my questions, but are you guys okay with that 50,000 in building fund, or do you want to talk about it more?
I just think if we need to, if we are going to try to build something this next year, and I'm not saying it's a bad idea, it might be difficult too, but we need to account for whatever we're gonna try to do. And I think, quite frankly, it does, if we're gonna take this in front of the public, we can say we budgeted for this. And we have a plan to pay for it. I think that shows a little confidence towards it.
Do you think we should put money into a building fund? Billy
Well,
Joe would say
well,
yes.
If we're
Say
pulling
that
out,
again?
You would say put money into a building fund,
I would,
a building.
Buildings and grounds?
Yeah,
I would, and I would look into the CDs, which I just have the or the approved minutes that I'm gonna be looking at CDs outside of this area
Okay.
to invest, which your minutes said equipment. Does that matter? To invest for equipment fund? But either that
That's
or
what it was.
we
with
can
the
make
truck
another
one.
motion.
it was for the truck, which then we would just have to put on the next agenda that you would opt to do something for a building. for
building and
grounds.
grounds.
But
Absolutely.
we can,
We should
do
be
that,
putting money aside
but-
for that.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
I mean, even if we're only going to do the public works building, or even if we're only going to do certain parts, we really should be proactive. I mean,
At least budget enough for some
yeah,
things.
and that's why I lowered the roads budget too. Anybody believe that? No, we do have to consider that though.
Yeah, so can we put that on the next agenda too, for investments into,
alright,
buildings?
so how much
So-
are we gonna try to put into?
I would say at least 100,000.
I agree.
Okay.
And if I spent money like this in my own house,
Yeah, but if you had $1 million.
Yeah, I
it'd be a
guess.
different story.
I guess.
So that buildings and grounds, you're going to the 114?
I don't know if it would be in that, because to me, if you're I'm
Or is that
assuming you're
investment?
meaning you wanna put this as a earmarked, kinda like how we have a
Yes.
contingency fund,
It would
you know,
be,
which would be
yes.
at the bottom of the,
I would put it,
Yeah.
so
other
on
sheet.
page 1 at the bottom is where I'm thinking.
you
would
have a capital outlay, municipal buildings, 100,000, but that's a capital outlay, so that's like,
You got contingency funds right underneath it. And that's for buildings.
Because it doesn't necessarily mean at that point that you're spending it next year, you're just setting that money
Yeah.
aside
yeah,
for the building, so I'm thinking that's what's gonna be on page
Yeah.
1, at the bottom, that buildings
But
fund, that 100,000 there. But
specify
then
it's for
50,
buildings and grounds. Because of, the sanitary system and all that's
Yeah.
gotta be,
Well,
and those guys gotta have that.
We should have
fence.
that economic, we haven't put anything for economic development and parks in for a while, have we?
No,
So that could basically be replaced with that.
yeah,
no, but we should do that.
Should what?
Put money aside into
Oh,
a,
that's right, you guys are
Right?
planning
we should,
recreation.
And the way I see it, if we don't get to it, that's money that we can amend
In the
something, for something that.
yeah, and I
didn't
think
come
at
up.
least 25,000, because even if it only is a walking path and parking
We're putting
And
in
I'm all for,
trails,
raising that to 25 from where it's at. We
I live
just-
on Town Line, I'll donate
we just gotta-
my front yard for a sidewalk to go.
oh,
For every expense we bump
Think you
up,
moved out
we
here from
gotta
Chicago
find a
or
revenue to bump.
Oh, I would love a sidewalk on
But I'm
Town Line.
thinking,
I
you
would
guys in the
walk,
plan
yeah.
commission are talking about something like Mead, if we can get the
I
DNR to
see so
donate the
many
land.
Yeah,
jackers
absolutely.
on that
So
road and I'm
if
thinking,
that's the case, we have to be able to
People
come up
go
with some
fast.
money to
Right,
do some of
Yeah.
that.
yeah, because we can't get them to give us any land if we don't
18
have a
inches
plan
on
on
each
what
side.